Hello everyone. So it's been a while since I haven't posted, and the reason is because I had a lot going on in my life, so I didn't really have time to make a video, unfortunately. But today I really felt the need to say something, and yeah, the beauty of having your own channel is that you can actually do whatever you want. So sometimes, I will be more professional, so I will be, I don't know, with some makeup on and some better clothes, or sometimes I will just be in my bed, um, and I will just talk to you based on my observations and based on the thoughts that I was having during these days. So today is one of those days, and the topic of today is actually grounding. That is something that I've been working on in these past days. And the reason is because I realized that I'm always with my head. And sometimes we tend to leave our body and take refuge in our minds, take refuge in our heads. So we live in our thoughts, we live in our fears, we live in the future or in the past, and we really forget that we are actually human beings with a physical body that needs to be taken care of. So I realized that I am actually doing that. I am not really focusing on my body too much. And I think it's really important that we do, because even though I strongly believe that, we are spiritual beings and we are having a human experience, we are actually humans. So we do have a body that we need to take care of if we want to have a good life on this earth. So it's not going to be very structured today. I just really want to talk about my feelings and what I've been learning in these days. And first of all, so what is grounding? Grounding is basically when you are anchoring yourself to the earth and you are feeling a connection with this planet. So that can be done in a different in different ways. It can be done, usually what people recommend and is the most popular method, is to simply walk barefoot or have contact with the ground, with the floor, with the grass, with trees, and touch nature, touch the ground, touch earth. Sometimes that's not possible though, because of different reasons. So there are other ways how you can ground yourself. For example, it can actually even be swimming. Swimming is grounding because you need to be, it is still connection to nature. So it doesn't only have to be walking barefoot or, touching grass. It can also be swimming in a lake. But sometimes that's also not possible. So there are other ways. It usually it is having to do with the senses, because we want to connect with our bodies. So what I found is really helping me is to touch stuff, so textures. So if I find myself floating around in my mind or feeling like I'm not really in my body, what I find is really helpful is to touch something around me. Anything, could be my t-shirt, could be my hand, could be a pillow, anything that is next to me, that I feel if I touch and focus on that, then I immediately back into my body, because it is about physical sensations. And this can also be done by smelling a candle or smelling something good or even bad, eating something that awakens your taste buds, listening to music, yeah, so anything that has to do with the senses. Another thing is also just dancing or moving around, because if you connect to your body and you feel it, especially the rhythmic kind of dancing or moving, it helps to really feel like you are present. So moving, connecting with the senses is really helpful, and literally anything that takes you away from your thoughts and your mind. So for me, those two are the best options that I found. Obviously, connecting to nature is another one that is really helpful. But like I said, sometimes we cannot, because maybe we are in the office, we are at home, and we don't have access to nature. So those other two things you can do anywhere, and they are really, really fast. But what why is it important to ground yourself? For me personally, it is because, like I said, I am way into my thoughts, way into my mind, and this projects me to the future or to the past, and this doesn't let me experience the present. Also, it doesn't let me take care of my body in the way that it needs, because I am not connected to the body. So it is important that we ground ourselves and that we are fully present in this reality, because we have to live in this reality. We have to, do the chores, we have to go to work, we have to deal with people, with situations, and we want to be healthy for that. And in general, we want to be healthy for ourselves and for others. So, and also it helps to keep the anxiety down and the stress down. So it is really, really important that we feel like we are present in the body. And I think this is mostly for people who are anxious, or for people who are very fearful of what's gonna happen, and this led me to the research of chakras. I've already been researching for a long time, but it's something, it's like an argument, it's like a topic, actually a topic that always comes back for me, and I always feel like there's a point in my life when I need to go back to it. And in this case, it led me back to the root chakra, because the root chakra is our base, is our foundation. It is found between the anus and the genitals, so it is, at the very base of your body, so at this, very low. It's the first chakra where all the other foundation is built on. Now, for those that don't know what the chakra is, it's basically an energetic spinning circle, vortex, and it is kind of like, so I'm gonna try to explain this in a very easy way. So it is very simplified way, but this is the way that I understand it. So the same way we have veins in our body that carry blood, we have energetic vessels that carry energy. And this, it can be seen also in the Chinese acupuncture, Chinese meridians. So they are kind of energetic lines that run around all over our body. Where these point meet, where many of these points meet, there is a vortex of energy, and these are the chakras. The chakras are many more than 7. The mainstream version says there are only 7, like the biggest, most common ones, known ones, but there are actually way more than 7. However, for simplicity, and also because they are the ones where these lines converge more, usually the focus is only on these 7, and they run on the vertical axis that goes from your base and up until your head. So the root chakra is basically the foundation, is basically your stability. It has to do with, the basic things like survival, procreation, sexual energy and desire, blood, and it controls everything that has to do with the legs, the spine, sometimes even, like digestive issues. So everything that deals with the basics. From a mental point of view, it deals with like feeling of survival, fight or flight or freeze. It deals with feeling stable, and it, like financially stable, even with like romantically stable, also socially stable. So everything that deals with your basic needs. And what happens is that if a root chakra is balanced, then you are feeling content, you are feeling like you can count on a strong base, which is financial, which is your friends, which is your family. you have a good foundation. So that means that you can build all the other things on top. If the chakra is too energized, it means that you are very aggressive and you are always running, 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 and pushing, and you have way too much energy there. So it needs to be calmed down, otherwise it will just take too much energy out of you. But if the chakra is too weak, then it means that your basic needs, you feel like your basic needs are not met, you feel like you don't belong, you feel like you have no stable basis, you always feel like you're in a fight or flight or freeze mode, in a survival mode basically. And this leads to depression, this leads to anxiety, this leads to no energy. So it is important that this chakra, because it's the base, it's the foundation, is balanced. Now, for me personally, I feel like the past 10 years of my life have been very challenging, and I've been really living in a survival mode. So I really feel that this is an area where I need to focus on, and this is what I'm doing. And why am I bringing it up? It's because one way to stabilize the root chakra is through grounding. So because the chakra, the base chakra, is so inside, I mean, it's the basics and it's inside the body and it's the base of the body, then we need to really be incarnated in our body, and we really need to be stable and present in this reality. So there are some things that you can do and that I am trying to do as well. First of all, for me personally, I am trying to focus on the mental aspect, because I believe that it doesn't matter if your reality is fine. I mean, you can have a job, you can, have friends, you can, everything on paper is all right, you know. You don't necessarily have to be in a survival situation when you can have a house, you can actually have like your friends and everything. But if your mind doesn't feel like you are stable, if your mind doesn't feel like you are actually, supported, then it doesn't matter what you have. It all starts in your mind. And so what I'm trying to do is, why am I feeling this way? Why is my perception that I am in a fight or flight or freeze mode for 10 years? Now I have different reasons. I have changed a lot of houses, I have changed a lot of jobs, I have changed countries. So there are many reasons, but that doesn't mean that I need to carry all this instability from the past. So for me, the first thing to do is to understand the mindset behind and try to understand that I'm actually building a foundation. So one thing to do this is to have safety points. For example, things that you can always count on no matter where you are. For me, it's friends, it's family, it's books, it's my TV series, it's the knowledge that I have acquired during the years. Those are things that people, or in general life, cannot take back from you. Your ability to, I don't know, be empathetic, or some power you have, some strength you have, those are things that they cannot take away from you. Nobody can. And so those are safety points. Um, then, of course, it's the mindset, so the beliefs, the bullshit rules, the fake beliefs that we're telling about ourselves. For example, I don't know, keeping a job is hard, finding a job is hard, this economy is not stable. All these things that make you feel like you're living in a world that doesn't really, where you cannot really live, but you only have to survive. Then, of course, we have all the physical things. For example, I don't know, changing stuff about your life, about your lifestyle, about your how you deal with stress. Because if you have chronic stress, then you are not going to feel grounded and you're not going to feel like you're okay. So I don't know, one way to do this is, for example, eating properly. For the root chakra, you should eat root vegetables because they support, they come from the ground, so they're very healing for feeling nourished. for example, potatoes, sweet potatoes, garlic, onions, anything that is below ground. Then we have the moving, like I said before, for the grounding, feeling the connection with the earth and feeling the connection with your body. So those are all things in the lifestyle. Obviously, also being healthy, so drinking water, those are always important. And the third thing is to also, it's kind of a mix of both, because it is about building a financially and generally stable life. So taking small steps to feel like you are in control. Because one reason also why the root chakra and generally we don't feel grounded is because we feel like we are not in control. So we tend to leave and we tend to, if I cannot control this world, then I'm not going to be in this world. But it is true that we cannot control everything around us. There are things that are way outside our power, and we have no power on. We only have the power on how we respond to them, but we cannot control them. But you can control small things around you. You can control your environment, you can organize your environment, and you can also take small steps to build a stable life for you. So that is what is going on for me now. That is what I wanted to share. And again, if you like the video, if it reaches you, then it means you really need to hear this. And that is actually my hope and my wish and my intention, that this video will reach whoever needs to hear this at that moment. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to comment, I would love it. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.